I'm Benedict, writer, traveller and explorer. Join me on my adventures across Uzbekistan with wild frontiers as I visit the ancient city of Samarkand, trek in the Nurata mountains and catch up with old friends in the Kizilkum desert. Chapter 1. The Road to Samarkand. Here I am in Uzbekistan on the Silk Road, and this is the jewel of that Silk Road, Samarkand, where the camels were unloaded and merchants stepped off and they looked around with just the same sense of wonder that I'm looking around now. And a lot of it is in the detail. It's a place that rewards the eye. The doors that are carefully etched, these tiles, the colours that are bombarding you from every direction, the blues. Look at that, sort of deep sea blues, turquoises, yellows. As a traveller, you don't feel out of place here, because this has always been a place of tourists and travellers. They've come along the Silk Road, they've traded, or they've just come here to marvel. And you get that sense still of people passing through, the mullahs, the merchants, all these people who've worn down these stones. It was great to stroll around the iconic Registran Square and look out over the vistas from the top of a minaret before entering the Tilia Kori, the Golden Madrasa. It's almost impossible to convey the beauty of this place. It's all to do with the exquisite detail, I think. Look at that, straight up above me. It's like a fan. It's held out by some emperor's concubine or something. This is fantastical, almost, the exquisite detail of this place. It's almost like you're enclosed in a golden flower, that this is pollen raining down on you. Having crossed Mongolia's Gobi Desert with camels on a previous trip, I'd heard a lot about Genghis Khan, or Chinggis Khan as he's called in Mongolia. I wanted to visit old Samarkand to see what he left behind when he passed through here in the 13th century. Chapter 2. A city destroyed. I've come away from the splendours of the city to see all that remains of the old Samarkand, and it's nothing. It's just a bit of dirt, because that's how Genghis Khan left this place. He came in with his armies, swept through. It said that the irrigation channels here were filled with blood. Same for Bukhara. It said that the plains of Bukhara were a tray of blood. So blood all around. But, wow, standing here in a windswept bit of nothingness, it says everything you need to know about Genghis Khan. He was ruthless. That's all part of the rich history of this region. And ironically, he swept away the Islamic Empire, and that actually reopened the Silk Road yet again. Leaving the wasteland behind, I visited the Afra Sahib paintings, a rare example of Sogdian art dating back to the 7th century. I then visited Sarisinda and found myself getting lost in the sea blues of the intricate patterns and the ornately carved doors. The devil really is in the detail. Chapter 3. Tamerlane's Tomb. The light is fading now, but still Samarkand dazzles. Look at this, the mausoleum to Tamerlane, the great hero of the country that's now Uzbekistan.
The buildings were extraordinarily impressive, but the tomb itself was closed, so I made an appointment to come back after dark. On entering the tomb, I looked up and was totally overawed by the incredible gilded ceiling. It was again the detail of the design that held the eye, and once again the colours dazzled. This was in contrast to the very simple and small tomb where the great Tamerlane is laid to rest. I headed back to the Registran after dark. Some of the lighting may have been a bit over the top, but it was brilliant to wander around the deserted main square, marvelling at the exquisite beauty and imagining the atmosphere of days gone by. Here the merchants would have bedded down for the night, and calm would have descended on the square. After a final look around Samarkand, I headed out to the Nurata mountains. Chapter 4. Nostrovia.
I'm going to stay up in the hills with the family. I thought they might like a little something, a little present, and so I'm going to try and buy one. That's not a shop, it's a restaurant, so we'll miss that one out. Ooh, carrots. They've probably got enough carrots.
I was paying for my treats when a very kind gentleman offered me some vodka.
And apparently this is 50 grams of vodka. It looks to me rather more. Blimey. Look at it. You can virtually bath in that. Velky.
Нет, я за рулем, ему.
Oh, yeah.
Оператор
Okay.
потом выпьет.
Потом. Yeah.
Это потом, давай.
Давайте сами.
Давай.
На здоровье.
На
здоровье.
здоровье. Давай. На здоровье, давай.
After you.
Я тоже за рулем, да.
Oh,
For Uzbekistan.
yes, I know, but it's ended up
Давай,
only me
давай.
drinking. I knew this would happen.
For Uzbekistan.
О, Габриэл.
Champion, not quite finished.
Having toasted to the road, there was time to make one final friend before the last leg of the journey into the Nurata mountains.
Manchester United,
Everton, Arsenal,
Chelsea,
Chelsea, Manchester City.
Manchester City.
City.
Yes, they're the ones.
Guardiola.
What?
Guardiola.
Guardiola, I don't know.
Guardiola, Murabbi.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Rooney, we know Rooney. Rooney is now.
Manchester Rooney. United.
Manchester United, Rooney.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Tottenham.
Tottenham. Do you know Uzbek?
Sterling.
Sterling. Yeah.
City. Manchester City.
Bobby Charlton? No, you don't know him. It's a different generation.
Chelsea. Eden Hazard.
Yes, he sounds familiar. Sure, I should know him. And what else have we got? So Rooney is now Everton. Yeah, I think he is, apparently. Do you know Czech? What's his name? Czech. The goalie. Oh well. Anyway, it's probably the limit of our conversation. we like football, or at least my friend is. What's your name? I'm Benedict. And you are. Your name?
Olodin.
That's a
Olodin.
good Uzbek name. Olodin. No, I'm Benedict. Say it.
Benedict.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Dobry.
Yeah.
I arrived at my homestay, where I met Ruslan, my guide, and was just in time to help prepare supper.
This is a good bit. It's always a good sound, that sizzling. Which bit of the sheep is this? You know, its legs, is it?
Legs.
Yeah. Oh, it's sturdy sheep. And then goes the garlic. There we are. Parsley. Is that parsley? Yeah. Looks good.
Chapter 5. Tales of Wolves. We ate and then toasted new friendships with generous helpings of vodka.
O'zbekistonga xush kelibsizlar. O'zbekiston bilan Angliyani do'stligi har doimo abadiy bo'lsin. Shuning uchun olamiz.
So welcome to Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan and England forever friendship.
Brave, yes.
Greto.
Oh,
Nostrovia.
After dinner, we shared tales of wolves.
We were just talking about how, well, these are stories of the wolves in the mountains here. And in one particular case, a wolf came in and he divided a flock. So he split off 20 or 30 sheep and hid them away. And this wolf and his friends, other wolves, they ate one sheep every day. And eventually the shepherd turned up and found the remainder of his flock hidden away by these wolves who'd been using them as a sort of larder. I had a dog team, huskies, you know, in the Arctic, and the only time the dogs were afraid were when wolves were around. The wolves would come around at night, circling. My dogs would they'd become like little puppies.
There was just time for Ruslan to sing a traditional Tajik song, and for me to take some notes of the day's adventures before drifting into a vodka-induced slumber.
I know the feeling. It's just possible I had a little bit too much vodka last night, but that was brilliant. We just sat, drank a little, quite a lot, and opened our hearts.
Ruslan, my guide, told me about a man who runs a watermill in a nearby village. Bread plays an integral part in Uzbek life, so I was interested to take a look at the first stage of the bread-making process. Chapter 6. A Miller's Tale.
Just over there's a watermill, and I wonder if I can get this old gentleman to show me how to use it. Yeah, hello. Can you show me the watermill?
First, Bakron showed me the water pump that powers the mill.
Equal pump. I'm not convinced anyone really understands how this works. It's one of those little bits of fiendish French technology that's been brought in. But anyway, it's a marvel, and it does work, and that's all that matters. Shall we go and see the mill?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you lead the way. Yeah, thank you. It's brilliant. It's got a little stick that's bumping along on the stone, and that gives that rattling movement. The rattling movement drops the grain down. Grain falls down through the stone, spreads out, and is flattened into powder. Ah, this is good. It's a miracle. It's a lovely smell of flour, very, very fine, powdery, sort of rather sweet smell rising up from the mill. This is my favourite bit, this little stick, and that jiggling motion jiggles the grain down into the gap between the millstones. Such a simple idea, and it's the key to the whole process. Every villager brings their sack of grain, and here it's transformed into flour. I love seeing this because Bakron, you can see his pride in his work, and he's right to be proud because this has been like this for so long. He's carrying on a tradition that's really at the heart of every community. This is what I love, these unexpected encounters. This mill wouldn't have changed in centuries, and there's one of them in every single village. And it's the heart of the village because that grain is transformed into flour, and that flour enables people to eat.
Bakron's son's wife was making bread and invited me to see what she was up to. Bakran invited me for tea. It was great to break the bread and chat with him under the walnut trees.
This little village down below, just waking up now, it's called Hayat. And Hayat means life. And you can feel that life as the dawn breaks.
Chapter 7. Climb every mountain.
I'm going on a hike. We shall see what the day brings. This for me is what it's all about. Unexpected encounters. It could be with local people, but in this case it's with landscapes. Just come out of the valley of Hayat and now over the pass, and look at this breathtaking view. Stunning. Gorgeous. I'm loving every minute. Just when you think you're in an arid, almost desert-like landscape, you see tucked away in the valley another settlement. Peach trees, walnut trees, poplar trees, goats, donkeys, and people living a hidden away life. I've just learnt another word, which seems to be the sound to encourage your donkey to get going.
And get going we did, weaving along little paths that ran through tiny villages and occasionally taking a few snaps of the locals. Walking really is the best way to get a sense of mountain life. Just as the sun was setting for the day, we left the villages behind and started to climb.
Absolutely breathtaking, and this is a view I've waited to see for years. I've read stories of the Kizilkum Desert, and there it is, stretched ahead of me. Genghis Khan came through Samarkand, laid it to waste, and rather to everyone's amazement, he crossed the Kizilkum Desert. No one was thinking he'd come from there, and he did, and he came round to Bukhara in the west and reduced it to a tray of blood. Look at it. A wasteland out there, and yet exquisitely beautiful. I love the Silk Road, but for me this is what it's all about. Hidden valleys, mountain tops, and these wild frontiers, unparalleled views. Every day should start just like this. Sun coming up. Children letting out the sheep. Everything is calm. Everything is peaceful.
Chapter 8. The Curative Powers of Camel Milk.
We're heading right away from the Silk Road now into the desert, and that is because I've heard there are camels ahead. Let's go and say hello. Camels are so misunderstood. People think they're belligerent, angry, but they're very, very gentle, very, very affectionate. It's about being the top camel. As long as you offer them security, they take to you. They're very, very loyal animals. A camel has a formidable array of armaments. They can spit, they can kick with their forelegs, with their rear legs, and they can crush you with their brisket. That's the hard pad they have underneath that they use to crunch down on wolves or anything else that would be traditionally their enemy. They've got lips that can split. They can
If there's a thorn tree with some lovely juicy leaves, they can split their lip open and strip the leaves off. Camels can drink about 80 litres of water, and that's what they like to do before they set off into the middle of nowhere. They keep this great bathtub of water inside them. You can see how powerful they are even as infants, even as youngsters. I'm only joking, you can have a nibble if you like. No, I'm the boss, not you. I've got the stride of a camel. You know, it's really useful. I cross the Gobi Desert and I walk with exactly the same gait as a camel, which is really good, actually. It sounds like it's unfortunate, but it's actually good. You know how annoying it is when you're following someone along the street and they walk too slowly or too quickly. Anyway, together we walked across the Gobi at the same pace. Some more enthusiastically than others, I have to say. One of my camels turned round and walked off home. Right, camel selfie. Are you ready? Which is your best side? Ah, here we are. Just in time. Yeah, I think we got it. It's all part of the story of the Silk Road. These camels have been up and down here for centuries. Alexander the Great saw them. Genghis Khan brought more in from Mongolia and destroyed everything along the way. I feel better now. I've seen camels. I can carry on my journey. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. After getting to know the camels, I spoke to some women who were staying at the sanatorium. They told me about the restorative powers of camel's milk and even the benefits of drinking camel urine, before inviting me to try some. Is this with the urine or without the urine? Very warm. I do feel younger. I do. Last drop. Feeling like a younger version of myself, I headed out to the desert, as there'd been a sighting of the mothers returning home. The adult camels were herded home and reunited with their young before being milked for the magical potion that helps the women at the sanatorium retain their eternal youth. Chapter 9. Reflections on Uzbekistan. I loved seeing the ancient sites in Samarkand. I'd seen many photos, but getting the chance to walk around the historic monuments and imagining the Silk Road in its heyday was a real treat. Getting up into the Nurata mountains was incredible. It was amazing to experience the traditional lifestyles and warm-hearted hospitality of the Tajiks, who profess to be of European origin, having descended from Alexander the Great. I loved meeting Brakron and seeing the watermill, strolling through villages hidden in valleys and trekking in the mountains and looking out over the Kizilkum Desert, a place I've read so much about. And who can forget the camels? I really enjoyed my stroll around the enclosure with the playful young ones, the next generation of these magnificent animals. It was amazing to travel with Wild Frontiers to see all that this incredible country has to offer. Thanks for joining me, and who knows, maybe I'll see you on more adventures with Wild Frontiers in some other far-flung corner of the world.